Good afternoon again, everybody. Alex Molchanoff taking over from Keane McKenna on Field 3 from the Sydney International Cup. 4 days of football continuing across Cromer Park. 3 fields in use here at this terrific facility across the course of the 4 days, culminating here with some grand finals on Field 1 on Monday. Looking forward very much to covering those. But there's a lot of football to be played between then and now. We've got Gungahlin taking on Mako Sharks here in under-10s action. Mako Sharks travelling over from Auckland. We're delighted to have them with us over the course of this week. 8 games for them, as well as all the other teams playing over the course of the week. First game in this group for both these teams, Group G, containing as well Football Star Academy and East Coast Soccer Academy are in action on Field 1 at the moment. And the early chance goes the way of the team from New Zealand. Couldn't manage to squeeze that ball home. Cooper Yanglin was dangling a foot in there, trying to make something of it. But it's the Kiwis who started on the front foot against the team from the nation's capital, one of the most historic clubs from the Capital Football Association in Australia. Long history of junior development. Great to see them as part of the Sydney International Cup as well today. 25 minutes to be played across all fixtures in this competition. No half-time. Through the group stages we can finish in draws, but once we get to Cup and Plate finals action, then things start to become a little more complicated. We'll see some penalty shootouts, no doubt, over the course of the weekend. Sydney has turned on some stunning weather for us, and the Kiwi side are enjoying it at the moment, making their way forward again. It was a nice cross in there from Casper Cheng. Still trying to work something out in there, and they fire the first shot in anger. Easily claimed by the Gungahlin goalkeeper, Lachlan Resch. See him wearing the number 27. He's someone who looks pretty comfortable for a 9-year-old in there. Tidy first piece of work this afternoon. Gungahlin needing to get themselves into this first fixture of the weekend. Every team wanting to win, but knowing there'll be an opportunity in the plate side of the competition. Top 2 in the group progressing to the Cup finals. Bottom 2 teams after the first 3 matches going into the plate finals. Really are just pounding them into their own half at the moment, aren't they? Mako Sharks, and they've got the opening goal. It's a tap in. A little piece of opportunism from Dennis Leung, who was the Johnny on the spot. After Cheng had created the chance for him, Rez could only parry. And it's a good side. The trip has been worth it. They've got the opening goal of their opening game, the Mako Sharks. Based in the heart of Auckland. Wonder if we've got a future Auckland FC Black Knight or two amongst our young stars out there today. Tell you what, some of the football they've been putting on. This is the first lot of under-10s games today. They've made a thrilling start. In fact, the game before this, of course, that Keane brought to you was an under-10s fixture as well. Great win to Soccer de Brazil. It's a very long way out from Hamish Sang, but why not give it a go? They've got a right boot like his. A little off balance, but he scooped it too high to get the shot on target. James Potter trying to play out of his own half for Gungahlin. Press was there from the man who just had the shot, Hamish Sang. We'll do it all again, another goal kick. Gungahlin with a chance to play out from their own half, really for the first time in this game so far. It's Houston Hunt turning through midfield. They've turned it over. And it's Leung who is trying to make his way back forwards. Hasn't been too much service for the man playing up front in the early stages of this game for Gungahlin, Axel Ahmet. He's having to fight over scraps at this point. Hunt turning into a little bit of trouble. So full of energy, these Kiwi kids for the Mako Sharks. Playing some good stuff amongst it. Lovely little darting run. He's catching the eye. This young man, Dennis Leung. He and Casper Cheng down the two flanks have been the stars of this game so far. But there's a chance for Hunt to strike. First save of the game for the Mako Sharks goalkeeper. Wonder, we got 3 fields streaming for you across the course of the weekend. Every game will be covered by our cameras and our commentary team over the course of the weekend. Part of getting entry into the Sydney International Cup, and the more you win, the more you seem to play on these fields. Certainly it's scheduled that way. There's a couple of teams that luck out with a couple of group fixtures on these streamed fields, but memories to take home. Certainly Dennis Leung has given himself one by tapping home the opening goal for the Sharks. They're on the attack again. The substitutions have come and they've not changed a thing. It's Leung again getting the shot away, and this time it's a tap in for Elijah Yang. So Leung scoring the first, creating the second. Lachlan Rez did a very good job to get down to it, but only beat it into the path of the Mako Sharks striker, and it's the Auckland side who lead by 2-0. Less than 7 minutes into this 25-minute fixture. And they've well and truly deserved it. Moving the ball beautifully between one another. Moving off the ball. Can Garland strike back? Not quite. Enterprising run from Rayan Pansara. Just ended the wrong side of the post. Hearing some of the cheers from the crowd in the Lucas Neal stand as well. That's coming from down below us because we've got one game concurrently being played on field 4, which is just out of sight of the stream. Garland have responded pretty well since going 2-0 down. Trying to fight their way back into this game. Both teams scrapping on the ground, and Garland's force of will might force the ball home. It certainly put it into a dangerous area. Now they've got a chance from the throw. Zane Kirby has made his way over to take it. Just looking for options. There aren't too many. There's a lot of white shirts, not too much black and white. Not able to keep the ball in play, so the sting goes out of the attack for Gungahlin. I've managed to force just the one shot on target in these early stages. Not halfway through the fixture yet. Oh, and that was an audacious effort. He's full of confidence, isn't he? Dennis Leung playing down that right-hand side. He's one of the smaller players on the pitch, and his coach says that's enough for now. Off you go. Rolling substitutions, so 7 aside for all the teams across all age groups this weekend on, as you can see, the quarter pitches. Goals just a little bit larger than most play with at club level, which is going to give us some big score lines and plenty of entertainment. And this is a nice move coming together from Garland down the left, and they've won a free kick. Just to coming together through the centre of the pitch as Jaden Yu tried to spring clear of the Sharks' defence. Might have just caught Daniel Zhao rather than the other way around, but either way, it's the Sharks who have conceded the free kick. A chance to go direct. What about that? Beautiful technique from Yu, who won the free kick initially and then curled it into the top corner. Gorgeous strike, and it gets Gungahlin right back in the game. And in fact, I think it was this man, Ryan Pansara, who struck it. Oh, what a gorgeous technician this young man could turn out to be. The way he struck that, there was no doubt in his mind. Once he was stepping up in that position, he was going to score. Gave the Mako Sharks goalkeeper no chance. They might just go the long shot here. Head in his hands after he thought better of it perhaps from Luca Breen, but given what he'd just seen from his teammate, he thought, why not? Let's pull us right back into this game. And I'll tell you what, the under-10s action that we've been seeing across the last hour or so, all these sides looking quite evenly matched. Haven't had any of the blowout scorelines. We had a couple of them in the under-8s and the under-9s, but the 10s so far have put on some cracking contests. We're getting another one here after Gungahlin started slower out of the blocks. They've come with a flurry in the last 5 minutes. And now Mako Sharks, who were having all the joy, are now struggling to get out of their own half. Breen's throw towards Pansara, the goal scorer for Gungahlin. Turning away from trouble that time. Daniel Zhao was able to do the defensive work a little more tidily. Just a little bit of a loose touch as Elijah Yang tried to keep that ball in play. Great opportunity for clubs from all over Sydney, Australia. Some teams up here from Adelaide again this year. Over from Perth, which is quite the journey. And a lot of New Zealand clubs now making the trip over for the Sydney International Club, which has been played no small part in the growth of numbers we've seen in this tournament. Ball over the top. That was a smart piece of goalkeeping from the Mako Sharks gloveman. Now they're trying to spring forward and attack themselves. Ball coming out to the left-hand side towards Maten Rahimi. Almost a chance for Elijah Yang to get a shot away. That was a good piece of defensive work, though, from Gungahlin. It's actually, since they went 2 down, they've looked a lot more sturdy back there. Lachlan Rest, the goalkeeper, has had very little to do. Mako Sharks taking the throw quickly, and Yang was trying to get a shot away. He was tripped in the process. And Gungahlin, who got their goal back from this sort of position, have just conceded a free kick almost in a mirror image of the spot down the other end. So this will test the bravery of the couple in the wall, as well as the alacrity of young Lachlan Rest, who got up sharply to his near post to make the save. Good piece of goalkeeping. Claimed it on the second attempt. A couple of Mako Sharks around him as well. There's no shortage of pressure around the Gungahlin goalkeeper. A couple of Canberra sides that have made entries into this tournament. Gungahlin have got a nice little contingent. Seems across a couple of age groups. Canberra, Croatia are also up here with a lot of their juniors. A few of the NPL sides from Sydney. Along with a lot of the private academies. This is one of the only competitions around Sydney that sees a combination of club sides and the plethora of academies that are set up around this terrific city. Mako Sharks have a chance here to find their way 3-1 in front. A good block. I think it was Ramvaro again who made his way across. He's doing it down both ends, and now he's got a chance to run forward with a football for Gungahlin. It's Pansara. He's looking for Kirby. Diminutive figure, even in the under-10s. He's making his presence known. Not sure that's the way to go looking for him. It has won Gungahlin a corner, though. So they'll crowd around the Mako Sharks goalkeeper, looking for their equaliser, which may well come. I think it struck one of their players almost right on the goal line. And had Benedict Fura been able to steer it home, it would have been 2-2 indeed. He's trying to make up for that, I won't call it an error, but that opportunity missed. And now it's spilled out to the left flank and squeezed in. Gungahlin come from 2 down. to equalise. Remarkable turnaround from the team from Canberra. After trailing 2-0, barely 6 minutes played. In the last 10 minutes, they have been the dominant team, and they've found their way back into the contest. Now it's down to the Mako Sharks to try and wrestle momentum back off them in the final 9 or so minutes. From a personal point of view, thrilled with the first game of the day that I've been calling for you on Community TV this afternoon. Ball centred, and there's a chance to try and turn it into something for Maten Rahimi. Wasn't quite able to do that. Scrapped forward by Zane Kirby. Very impressed with that young man. How scrappy and determined he's been to chase down every loose ball that's come down his flank. Ball down the right. Don't know if that was directed at field 3. Call of quicker. Some urgency. The parents becoming very invested. As you expect on days like this. Special days. It's a chance for Mako Sharks to try and develop something, but better not lose their concentration down the other end. That was a very cool piece of defending from Daniel Zhao. He's been the anchor back there for the Sharks, and it's got them going forward in counter-attack. There was an appeal for a free kick. The whistle didn't come. Nogan Garland trying to play their way out. Good skills on show. Fury just let it drop for a moment. Battling on was Kasper Cheng. And he's dispossessed pretty quickly by Fury. And it's Wonga Garland a throw. Something from which to base themselves. In this last 8 minutes or so, the press has been improved. Quality of their play on the ball has been improved. Better movement off the ball. All the sort of stuff you're looking for as an under-10s coach. And now something different. Just plugging it into the corner. I think it's going to be a throw for Mako Sharks very deep in their own half. So now Zhao, who's done so much defending, he's got to try and throw his way out of trouble. Wasn't quite able to. Came towards Kirby. And Cheng. Lovely twist of the hips to wriggle away from his defender. And turn the ball over though, and his hands went to his head in frustration. Shot from a very long way out. It wasn't the worst ever either. He's had a couple of goes from a very long way, Luca Breen. That was closer than his first. And this would be quite the story if Gungalan could turn the game around to turn it into 3 points for them in their opening game. Perhaps a good piece of game management from Lachlan Rez, recognising he was under pressure, just poking the ball out of play. But now there's defending to do. Throw goes long. Cheng. Edge of the box. In fact, this is the early hero, Dennis Leung. Now it's Cheng. Getting a toe poke away through a crowd of black and white bodies. Did well to even get the shot away in honesty. Not able to quite scrap it on target. Zhao, very nicely done from a defensive sense again. And now poking the ball wide. Rez quickly off his line. Another piece of good goalkeeping. You see why he's kitted out. It's not just all the gear. Can someone pop up as the hero in these very late stages now? You feel the goal for either side might well win it. It's just built very nicely, this contest. Reminder as well, those tuning in for the under-11 fixture to follow, Barrel FC against Game Ready Academy's Eintracht team. The under-11s Group B to follow this one shortly. Game streaming until 4 p.m. today. We're back from 8 a.m. for the start of our coverage tomorrow, which will run all the way through till 8:30. 12 and a half hours of football from Cromer Park. Well, you've got someone participating that you're watching on for, or just need some background noise on a sunny Saturday afternoon. This will fill both briefs very nicely. It's getting scrappier and scrappier as both teams look for a winner. The nice, precise passing and short ball playing of both teams from the early stages has long since departed. This is about getting the result now. Teams wanting to develop here, of course. That's what it's all about at under 10 age group, but you can't tell me both sets of players aren't having their heart set on getting the win, and Gungahlin went very close to getting the winner. Ball just popped up nicely. And Axel Ahmet, who's had a couple of half chances in this game, not one that's been clear-cut. He's playing as the furthest forward now for Gungahlin. Might just fancy himself to play the hero. Arnott. As the ball fired straight back at him. He's going to be happy enough to use his goalkeeper. Good piece of clearing play. Still the Mako Sharks could make something of it. Lung got the opening goal of the game. It seems a long time ago now. Chance for the long throw. Hamish Sang has made his way out to take it. Plenty of launch power. Those long arms. Did find the head of Casper Cheng, but wasn't able to knot it on target. Now the ball comes the other way. This is the thing about these small-sided games. They can toss up plenty of opportunity in very little time indeed. Vittorio was trying to work something out for Gungahlin. Seeing some minutes towards the end of this game. Tough for the coaches as well. Both these teams with full benches. Trying to get as many players out through the field of play as possible over the course of the 25 minutes. As you can see by the scoreboard at the bottom of your screen, about 2.5 minutes to play. Hear the countdown in the background. The players can't be too worried about that. Game preceding this one here, the goal came literally in the final second. Have to play all the way to the final hooter as it is today. It was a nice attempt to try and turn around his defender from Axel Ahmet, but I'll tell you what, Mako Sharks, since giving up the initiative early in the game as they did, both their goals coming inside the opening 7 minutes. Gungahlin have been on top since then. Heavy collision, but it was all fair. Nice little swivel of the hips from Yang, who was brought down. And now the whistle goes from the referee just to check on the well-being of Arnott. I think just a heavy fall rather than anything too serious, but he'll be off to just make sure he's feeling a little bit better. Never nice hitting the ground as hard as that, no matter what age you are. I'm sure there's a few parents watching the stream this afternoon who can support me in that claim. Mako Sharks making one last push. They've got about a minute to find the winner here. And he's fighting and scrapping all the way. Hamish Sang couldn't keep the ball in play. And now there's another Gungahlin player down. Dropping like flies. That full bench is being well utilised. 1 minute to play. Arnott turning on it. Zhao in the way as he has been so often. Could he be the hero down the other end? It was a nice little 1-2 attempt, but ball didn't find its way back to Elijah Yang. Leaves it for the long throwing prowess of Hamish Sang. This might be the last chance for either team. Can the Mako Sharks steal it late? Oh, it was a header on target as well from Cheng. Sharp save from Lachlan Resch. Tell you what, this points will be owed in no small part to the Gungahlin goalkeeper. And the countdown will take us to the final whistle. A terrific contest. And part of the beauty of the Sydney International Cup. The Mako Sharks from Auckland, led by 2-0. They were chased down by Canberra's Gungahlin United. And the honours are even at the end of 25 minutes. Terrific start to Group G action in the under-10s. Up next, we'll be back. Under-11s, Group B. Bowral FC taking on Game Ready Academy's Eintracht side.